Unforced Errors. I'm Jeff Stein with today's Iowa Politics Report. Political candidates give a lot of speeches and answer a lot of questions in any given very long day. So I tend to give them some slack for what is obviously a misstatement. For example, we've talked here before about Donald Trump once saying Sioux Falls when he was speaking to people in Sioux City. Once it was subtly pointed out to him, he then said Sioux City about a zillion times to compensate. It happens. Recently, Nikki Haley was asked about the causes of the Civil War, and in an attempt to show that there were many causes and subtleties, she forgot to mention the most important cause, namely slavery. Chalk that up to trying too hard to show how smart you are. Haley again with, as the Gazette called it, a missed layup last weekend when she watched an Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball game after a campaign event near Iowa City. She told reporters she was looking forward to it because Iowa player Caitlin Collins was promising. Of course, the Iowa player is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Collins is an anchor on CNN. And while Caitlin Clark can shoot from anywhere on the floor, it appears Caitlin Collins can only fire from the left. Again, it could have been a nice touch, but a mistake by the candidate. But what I don't think was a mistake was what Haley said in New Hampshire this week. In an effort to bolster support there, where she is already doing very well, she said, quoting now, "You know Iowa starts it. You know that you correct it. And then my sweet state of South Carolina brings it home. That's what we do," unquote. First, that's not a really smart thing to say the day before returning to Iowa, where if you finish second, you drastically change the narrative of the campaign. We Iowans take a lot of pride in our caucuses, and for her to suggest that we start it so New Hampshire can correct it is not only inaccurate, but bad politics. But that statement, delivered during an event, does not sound to me like an ad lib or a candidate shooting from the hip. That was a practiced and pre-written line designed to pander to New Hampshire voters at the expense of Iowa caucus goers. And that's what makes it different from misnaming a Hawkeye basketball player. If you are truly an undecided caucus goer, are you still going to consider her after that comment? That was the type of slam I'd expect someone who has avoided Iowa like Chris Christie to make, not someone in a statistical tie for second with days of on-the-ground campaigning in Iowa scheduled starting today. And it is certainly something that cannot be dismissed as merely a misstatement. And that's the Iowa Politics Report for Friday, January 5 on Twitter, Instagram, Getter, Threads, and Truth Social at Iowa Politics. I'm Jeff Stein on News Talk 1540 KXEL.